The concept of Hollywood divas not knowing how to say no can be interpreted in various ways. It might refer to actresses who, throughout their careers, said yes to roles or situations that were challenging, or it could highlight those who were known for their inability to turn down opportunities due to their ambition, career choices, or even personal struggles. Judy Garland's career was marked by the immense pressure she faced from the studio system, particularly at MGM. From a young age, Garland was pushed to take on exhausting work schedules, often forced to perform long hours and meet high expectations. She struggled to say no to the demanding roles and constant public appearances, which took a toll on her mental and physical health. Despite her immense talent and popularity, Garland's inability to set boundaries led to personal struggles, including issues with substance abuse. Her experience highlights the harsh realities of the Hollywood system, where stars like Garland were often exploited for their talents without consideration for their well-being. Marilyn Monroe, one of Hollywood's most iconic stars, often struggled to assert her boundaries within the entertainment industry. Known for her vulnerability, Monroe frequently took on roles and commitments that she wasn't entirely comfortable with. She felt immense pressure to please those around her, particularly her studio, which shaped much of her career. This inability to say no led to conflicts with directors and producers, as well as personal struggles. Despite her immense talent, Monroe often found herself in situations that compromised her well-being, both professionally and personally. Her experience highlights the darker side of fame, where even the most beloved stars are pushed to their limits in pursuit of success. Elizabeth Taylor's career spanned decades, and throughout it, she faced numerous personal struggles, including health issues and tumultuous relationships. Despite these challenges, she rarely said no to the demands of the entertainment industry. Her commitment to her craft and the constant pressure to maintain her star status often led her to take on roles and projects, even when dealing with personal turmoil. Taylor's willingness to fulfill the industry's expectations, despite her own struggles, contributed to her legendary status as one of Hollywood's most iconic actresses. Her career was a testament to her resilience, but it also highlighted the toll Hollywood fame can take on an individual's personal life and well-being. Bette Davis, known for her fierce independence and outspokenness, often struggled to say no in her career. Her strong personality and refusal to conform to Hollywood norms made her a trailblazer, but it also led her into difficult situations. She frequently found herself entangled in challenging films and personal relationships that sometimes clashed with her desires. Davis's determination to succeed in the industry, combined with her willingness to take on roles she wasn't always passionate about, led to a series of complex, sometimes frustrating experiences. Despite the challenges, Davis became one of Hollywood's most iconic and respected actresses, but her inability to set boundaries left her navigating a complicated, often tumultuous career. Joan Crawford, a Hollywood legend, was renowned for her intense work ethic and commitment to maintaining her career. She often said yes to roles, even when facing personal turmoil and conflicts with studio executives. Crawford's drive to succeed led her to take on roles that were sometimes challenging or unappealing, as she feared losing her relevance in the competitive industry. Despite her personal struggles, including turbulent relationships and ongoing battles with the studios, she continued to work tirelessly. This inability to say no ultimately cemented her status as one of Hollywood's most enduring and complex stars, but it also reflected the harsh demands of the entertainment industry during her time. Greta Garbo, one of Hollywood's most mysterious and iconic stars, is remembered for her early retirement at the peak of her career. However, during her time in Hollywood, she often found herself taking roles she wasn't passionate about. This was largely due to pressure from the studio system, which exerted significant control over actresses during that era. Garbo, despite her immense talent and popularity, struggled to say no to roles that didn't align with her personal interests. Her reluctance to turn down opportunities, coupled with the demanding nature of Hollywood, contributed to her decision to step away from the spotlight at a young age. This reflects the challenges many stars faced in balancing career expectations with personal desires. Nicole Kidman, in the early stages of her career, often struggled to say no to roles due to the immense pressure to prove herself in a highly competitive industry. Eager to establish her reputation, Kidman accepted various roles, even those outside her comfort zone, fearing that turning them down might harm her career prospects. This inability to set boundaries led her to take on projects that didn't always align with her personal interests or strengths. Over time, Kidman learned to be more selective with her choices, focusing on roles that resonated with her and allowed her to explore her full range as an actress. Her career trajectory highlights the challenges many stars face when trying to navigate fame and industry expectations. Sharon Stone's rise to fame with Basic Instinct was propelled by her willingness to take on daring and risky roles, even when she wasn't entirely sure about them. Her career choices reflected a desire to prove herself in a highly competitive industry, often pushing her to accept roles that came with intense scrutiny. As her fame grew, Stone struggled with boundary setting, feeling pressured by the demands of her career. This left her personal life increasingly overshadowed by public expectations and media attention. The inability to say no to certain roles or opportunities created challenges in her life, as the overwhelming fame took a toll on her mental and emotional well-being, highlighting the complex relationship between stardom and personal fulfillment. Early in her career, Gwyneth Paltrow was eager to take on a variety of roles, often stepping outside her comfort zone to prove herself in a competitive industry. Driven by ambition, she frequently said yes to opportunities, even those that didn't align with her interests or passions. Later, she admitted to regretting some of these choices, recognizing that her willingness to please others sometimes led her to take on roles that weren't the best fit. This eagerness to please, combined with the pressures of fame, led to moments of self-reflection and growth. Over time, Paltrow became more selective with her career choices, prioritizing projects that resonated with her personally and professionally. Angelina Jolie has long been known for taking on challenging roles throughout her career, often pushing herself beyond her comfort zone. In her early years, she was eager to prove herself, even if she wasn't entirely convinced by the script or the character. Driven by ambition and the pressure of her rising stardom, Jolie found it hard to say no to roles that came her way. This relentless pursuit of excellence sometimes led her to take on projects that didn't always align with her personal interests or values. Over time, Jolie became more selective, focusing on projects that allowed her to combine her passion for acting with her humanitarian work. Her career reflects the complexities of balancing fame and personal fulfillment. Reese Witherspoon's rise to fame was marked by a series of roles she wasn't always sure about. Early in her career, driven by the pressure to maintain momentum in Hollywood, she often said yes to roles out of fear of losing opportunities. This led her to take on projects she later reflected on as being too much or not the best fit. Despite her immense talent, Witherspoon struggled with balancing career choices and personal fulfillment, often feeling the weight of industry expectations. Over time, she became more selective, focusing on roles that aligned with her values and passions. Her journey highlights the challenges faced by many actors, learning when to embrace opportunities and when to assert boundaries. Reese Witherspoon's rise to fame was marked by a series of roles she wasn't always sure about. Early in her career, driven by the pressure to maintain momentum in Hollywood, she often said yes to roles out of fear of losing opportunities. This led her to take on projects she later reflected on as being too much or not the best fit. Despite her immense talent, Witherspoon struggled with balancing career choices and personal fulfillment, often feeling the weight of industry expectations. Over time, she became more selective, focusing on roles that aligned with her values and passions. Her journey highlights the challenges faced by many actors, learning when to embrace opportunities and when to assert boundaries. Julia Roberts, one of Hollywood's most beloved actresses, has admitted that early in her career, she often said yes to projects she wasn't entirely enthusiastic about. This was often driven by the pressure to maintain her success in a competitive industry. At the start of her career, Roberts felt a need to prove herself and maintain her place in Hollywood, which sometimes led her to take on roles that didn't excite her. Over time, however, she became more selective about her projects, focusing on roles that truly resonated with her. Despite her initial struggles with boundary setting, Roberts eventually found a balance, allowing her to enjoy a long and fulfilling career, cementing her status as one of Hollywood's leading actresses. These actresses all had their own personal and professional challenges that led them to take on roles or face situations they might not have otherwise agreed to, often due to pressures from the entertainment industry.